Good morning. It's 10 a.m. on June 17th, 2026. This is a meeting of the Nevada Commission on Ethics. I'd like to start with the roll call. Chair Scherer is present. Vice Chair Wallen.
Here.
Commissioner Langton is excused. Commissioner Miller.
Here.
Commissioner Moran. Let's see Commissioner Moran on. Commissioner Pancoast.
Here.
Commissioner Reynolds.
Here.
And Commissioner Smith.
Here.
Thank you. Staff, Executive Director Armstrong.
Here.
Commission Counsel Bassett.
Here.
Investigator Terry.
Here.
Acting Associate Counsel Hazlett.
I'm here.
Senior Legal Researcher Pani.
Here.
Outreach and Education Officer Harvey. And Executive Assistant Saldana.
Here.
Will you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. That brings us to our first item. I note that on the Zoom we have former Commissioner Lowry. Welcome back. I assume that you might be here for public comment, especially with regard to item number 6 on our agenda. I did want to let you know that if you have the time, you're obviously free to make public comment now, or we're also going to trail public comment with regard to that item to just before item 6, if you'd prefer to offer your public comment then.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to offer my public comment at the same time that you are honoring Commissioner Wallen.
Okay. Then we'll take other public comment that's not with regard to item number 6, if any. Executive Director Armstrong, did we receive any public comment by email to be read into the record?
We have not received public comment to be read into the record on items other than item number 6.
And Executive Assistant Saldana, do we have anyone online who'd like to make public comment other than Commissioner Lowry?
Elvira Saldana, for the record, at this time, there is no one on Zoom that has indicated they would like to provide public comment.
And would anyone in the room like to make public comment under this item? Seeing none, we'll move on then to item number 3, which is approval of the minutes of the June 11th, 2026 commission meeting. Only those commissioners who were present for the meeting can participate, which means that myself and Commissioner Miller cannot vote on this particular item.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as read.
I'll second the motion.
So we have a motion from Vice Chair Wallen, a second from Commissioner Reynolds. Do we have any comment on the minutes? Any changes? Any comments? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the minutes are unanimously adopted by those who were eligible to vote on them. Item number 4, welcome to Elko County Manager Amanda Osborne. Understand that you have some opening remarks for us.
I do. First of all, just a warm welcome to Elko County. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commission members, for making it a priority to get out to the rural parts of the county. We really appreciate that, and really for all the work you do to enhance really the trust in the public service and what we do out here. So I do appreciate the opportunity just to share a little bit about Elko County. Some of the things I'll share you probably already know. Hopefully there's a couple of fun facts that maybe you don't know. So just the basics. Elko County, as you know, is the 4th largest county in the United States. We're about 17,000 square miles, a little over 11 million acres. Of that, 72% is publicly managed by either the federal or state. With that, though, that creates some challenges as far as tax revenue, but because we are a public land county, we do receive some payment in lieu of taxes. So that does help on the revenue side. We have 4 incorporated cities within Elko County. We have lots of little communities, all the way from Jarbidge in the north side of the county to Midas and Tuscarora, all over the place. So we're pretty busy making sure that we take care of all of those communities, whether it's public water infrastructure, roads. We maintain a little over 1,100 miles of roads. Only about 135 or so of those are actually paved. We did accept some additional roads for maintenance just over the hill in the Spring Creek Association. That community has seen a lot of growth in regional traffic. They have lots of great youth activities out there, lots of sports activities, ball fields, that kind of thing. There was recently just a Boys and Girls Club constructed out there. And so again, just lots of youth activities. And one of the fun facts is Jarbidge is the most remote community or town in the state. There's lots of fun YouTube videos if you want to go take a look at those and kind of see what that's about. I would encourage any of you to go visit that small community. There's a small bar restaurant there, a cute little park. We have a fire station up there. One of our most complex water treatment systems, it's a surface water treatment system that probably is one of our greater challenges, just in the way of making sure we have certified operators and those kinds of things. But we continue to work with different state departments to ensure that we can provide good quality, clean drinking water up there. So as I mentioned, Spring Creek is just over the hill. It is the largest homeowners association in the country with just over 5,400 lots out there. It is reaching near capacity. We have approved a couple of new subdivisions out there, but as you know, that's a long process. So they're just getting started in those endeavors, but looking forward to seeing some additional growth out there. Elko County has just a little over 450 full-time staff. And those employees obviously support everything from the assessment and collection of property taxes to the judicial system, to our law enforcement and different public safety services that we provide. We do actually still maintain and run a public ambulance service. So we recently expanded that service to include a truck out in Spring Creek because of that growing population, and obviously response times in rural communities tend to be a little bit longer. So we rely on our partners in those other outlying areas through a private service, but we do work well with all of those groups. Recently, here in the last 2-3 years, we did also take on the operation of our local 911 dispatch center. So that's been a big change for us. I think it's been good both from an end user perspective and obviously service to our communities. So that's been one of our bigger undertakings in the last couple of years. Just another fun fact. So I was appointed to this role just over 5 years ago. We've had a number of department head changes since then. Most of our senior leadership team is 5 years or less in their current role. So relatively, I wouldn't say inexperienced by any stretch, but just a fairly new leadership team to Elko County. And we have thoroughly enjoyed the support of our pretty consistent Board of County Commissioners, which unfortunately is going to be, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, but what we know is going to be changing here in the near future. So just a couple of things that Elko County is well known for. As you know, each year we host the annual Cowboy Poetry Gathering. We have visitors from all over the world come and attend and see us in January. Maybe we should do it another time of year because it is usually so cold, but they still come, they enjoy it, we have a great time. This year we celebrated our 40th Mine Expo. As you know, mining and ranching is really the cornerstone of our culture and what we do here in Elko County. In terms of the mining industry, many of the operations aren't actually here in Elko County, they're in Lander and Eureka counties. However, we do have our project that will be starting here in the next couple of years and into operation that is fully within Elko County, so we're really excited about the net proceeds that will come along with that. There are some other prospective critical minerals projects that are coming to fruition, specifically with tungsten. So that will be located out towards Montello, so kind of on our eastern border. We do house most of our miners and their families here in Elko, so we do obviously reap the benefit of the consolidated tax revenues that come with the spending that occurs here in Elko County. Bing Crosby actually owned a ranch here in Elko County a long, long time ago. University of Nevada was actually founded here in Elko, then later moved over to Reno. And 5 governors of the state of Nevada have come from Elko County. So some of our goals moving forward, one thing that we've been working on over about the last 5 years is really commercial air service development. Right now, we have 2 flights out of Elko. They go to Salt Lake, which means if we want to go to Reno or if we want to come back into Las Vegas, we're spending dollars out of the state to come back into the state. So we'd really like to see intrastate travel become a thing here in the near future. We have partnered with other local government agencies, so with the city of Elko, and we have some private agencies involved, so public-private partnership, to continue to support that endeavor. One of the things that is a challenge for us is the current air service provider requires a minimum revenue guarantee at the tune of about $1.2 to $1.5 million every year. So we're raising funds and contributing to that to just keep what we have. So we've been active in the legislature and different things to continue to expand that and hopefully bring that wholly within the state. Road infrastructure is another really important thing, not just for Elko County, but across the state. The city of Elko has had on its master plan for probably 40 years the extension of our air cart loop, which we're getting really close to moving that on into construction and not just engineering and design. So along with that will come some water and sewer infrastructure as well, so that there could be some additional development. And last but not least is really public health and the infrastructure around that development. We've had some, again, really great private partners come into Elko and just provide outstanding, exceptional service. And so that's actually been a draw for others outside of our community to come here and receive quality health care as well. So a little bit about Elko County. Do you guys have any questions? I'm happy to answer anything you have.
Any questions?
All right.
I just want to make a comment. I've been to Jarbidge.
Oh, great.
Yes, and I actually saw them land on the moon for the first time, watching it at the post office.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, so
Wow, that's
I know
that's
it
a
well.
fun fact.
I know it well. So
Well,
it's a
thank you all
beautiful
again
place.
for being
Yeah.
here in Elko. And if you need any food recommendations, let us know. We're happy to give you some.
Well, thank you for having us. My family loves Elko, so I took a couple pictures last night and sent them to my son, who was jealous that I was here and he was not. And I had been jealous of my wife, who'd been here more recently than I had. So it's good to have an opportunity to come back.
Well, thank you all.
That brings us to item number 5. Discussion and possible approval of a proposed stipulated agreement concerning ethics complaint number 26-037C regarding Richard Braithwaite, City Manager, City of Carlin, State of Nevada. Our counsel for the parties present. Executive Director Armstrong.
Yes, Executive Director Armstrong representing myself.
And good morning, Chair and panel. This is Christian Moore with the Laxalt Law Group, representing the subject, Richard Braithwaite.
Thank you. Executive Director Armstrong, please give us your presentation on this item.
Thank you. Richard Braithwaite was the city manager of Carlin. On or about February 2nd of this year, we received a complaint alleging violations of 401, 2, and 7. The commission added an allegation of 409, and it was investigated this spring. As we went through the investigation, we engaged in early resolution discussions with counsel for Mr. Braithwaite, and he agreed to waive a review panel in this case and enter this stipulation. As I said, Mr. Braithwaite was the city manager for the city of Carlin at all material times. He directly oversaw city departments, including the Public Works Department. During the course of being a city manager, he received some brake and rotor repair work on his personal car from the city maintenance shop during work hours and using those city facilities and equipment. The the parts were paid for by Mr. Braithwaite, but there was no, they used the city labor and time to execute those repairs. There's no policy in place that would have allowed for this type of use of property equipment under the limited use exception under the ethics law. And then on April 8th, Mr. Braithwaite submitted his resignation from the city manager. So the parties have agreed in this particular case that his course of conduct in getting that car repair, I'll say it was just one time. It was not a regular car repair that he was doing at the city. It was a single time. So the stipulated agreement is that he's agreed to one willful violation of NRS 281A 400 subsection 7, the prohibited use of government time, property, equipment, or other facility to benefit a significant personal or pecuniary interest. That finding is in agreement with other cases of the commission, including the recent In re Pimentuan case. We've agreed that the other allegations, including 401, 2, and 9, will be dismissed as part of the negotiated resolution. We note that Mr. Braithwaite has not been previously the subject of any ethics violation, and that he did indeed, he paid for the parts, just not the labor. So Mr. Braithwaite has agreed to pay restitution to the city of Carlin in the amount of $200 for the labor within 60 days of approval of the stipulation. In addition, under the NRS 281A 790, he's agreed to pay a $200 civil fine payable to the commission that goes to the state general fund. That will be paid within 60 days. In addition, this order serves as an admonishment under the ethics law pursuant to 281A 785, which is a written expression of disapproval of his conduct. That is it for my presentation. Mr. Hazlett on our team is prepared to answer any questions you may have.
Let me start by asking Mr. Moore if he's got anything he wants to add to that.
No, Mr. Armstrong's summary was accurate and succinct. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions?
Yes, Chair Scheer. This is Commissioner Reynolds. I had two questions. One was Mr. Braithwaite assigned a vehicle within the city, or did he use his personal vehicle in his conduct of business as city manager?
Well, acting associate counsel Hazlett, he was not given a county vehicle. Other county employees were. He used his own personal vehicle.
The second question is, how long had he been city manager? I know he turned in his resignation, is no longer city manager in Carlin, but how long was he city manager prior to this event or during the event?
I believe it was for a little over maybe 5 years, but I'm not sure. Yep.
Somewhere in that neighborhood. Okay. No, I'm in favor of the agreement. And if there's no other questions, I'll move to approve the agreement. But I think it was important in terms of not fining him and settling for what he has basically paid the city back and compensated for the parts. I think that's appropriate because he was not assigned a vehicle. He may have had access to vehicles, but he wasn't assigned a vehicle. So he used his personal vehicle in the conduct of his business. So I think this is appropriate agreement.
I'll note, I think this is consistent with other cases we've had where we look at the amount of the benefit that the subject has received as a sort of a measure of the civil penalty. And so I think that's reflective here also. He's agreed to a willful violation, and it's my understanding that he was very cooperative in this investigation and took responsibility from the start. So with that, I'll also support it. Are there any other questions or
You want
comments?
me to second
Before
his
we-
motion?
Well, let's ask him to make a formal motion. So, yeah.
Okay. I move that we approve the proposed stipulated agreement concerning ethics complaint number 26-037C regarding city manager Richard Braithwaite, city of Carlin, Nevada, and with any other items that need to be processed and taken care of for this agreement. So with that, I'll move to approve this and Mr. Chair, so.
Okay. Can we amend that to include that Commission Council be authorized to prepare the agreement in appropriate legal and finalize the agreement in appropriate legal form? Would you accept that as a friendly amendment to your motion?
Yes, please.
Okay. Do we have a second to that motion?
Second.
Do we have any other questions or comments on the motion before we proceed forward? Let's go to the vote then. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed? And the agreement passes. Thank you, Mr. Moore, and thank you to your client. Please give our thanks to your client for his cooperation in this matter.
Thank you, Chair and the Commission. Thank you.
And before we move to item 6, I mentioned earlier we were going to trail some of the public comments. So I'd like to, at this point, go ahead and reopen public comment with regard to item number 6. Do we want to start? Let's start with those maybe who are online, and then we'll finish with the email. So Commissioner Lowry, I know you've been waiting patiently.
Thank you, Chair. I thank you so much for providing the opportunity to talk about my time on the commission with Vice Chair Wallen. First, congratulations, Vice Chair, on a stellar 2 terms serving the Ethics Commission. It was my pleasure and honor to serve with you. Over the past 8 years, you have given 100% of your attention, time, and experience to upholding the ethics laws in Nevada. In each of your roles, whether you were a commissioner, vice chair, or chair, you were always prepared, always engaged, and always looking for ways to improve the process. Your focus was to follow the rule of law without fear or favor. This unwavering commitment made the commission something that the public could trust. Your expertise in accounting and years as an elected official added a significant improvement to the delivery of our annual report and opinions. You were diligent and unwavering in your expectations that the entire team be accountable in their service to the mission. You set the bar high and led by example. Your work ethic was impressive. Despite having many other professional and family commitments, you could be depended on to be at every meeting in person. If not, you zoomed in from all over the world. You are a generous, delightful, spirited colleague. You hosted many fun get-togethers for the team. Thank you for your hospitality. Traveling the state on behalf of the commission and participating in many training sessions, you helped educate our constituents and promote the importance of ethics in government. And when I mention you're traveling the state, you are truly a battle-born Nevadan. You know more about the state of Nevada than anyone I've ever met. And when the county manager there in Elko mentioned Jarvis, and you said, I've been to Jarvis, and then talked about it, I thought, of course you have, because you've been all over the state. You truly love the state of Nevada. Your commitment, your passion, your public service to the entire state. You've also educated our next generation a bit on the details of our great state. On your road trips. And so bravo to you for your commitment to all of us and the Ethics Commission. You leave a great legacy, especially as chair, for all your innovations. Thank you so much. Well done on your contribution to our state.
Thank you, Commissioner Lowry. Is there anyone else online who'd like to make public comment on this item? Mr. Towler?
Yes, I would. Thorin Towler for the record. Yeah, I've known Kim a long time, and she has been an outstanding member of the Nevada Commission on Ethics and someone I've truly enjoyed serving with when I was also on the commission. As we all know, she brings a wealth of knowledge, good judgment, practical approach to every discussion, every topic that would come up. She has a unique ability to look at complex issues from multiple perspectives while keeping fairness and integrity the forefront of the conversation. She's always thoughtful, well prepared, which, there's a lot that you have to be prepared for, as you all know, and she was always extremely well prepared. And all the boards and commissions I've worked with and served on, I don't think anybody's come close to that level, just knowing all the material inside and out. And she was never afraid to ask the right questions and the tough questions. And I always would think that, when we had a difficult topic, I would think, hey, that's an interesting, I wonder if somebody's going to bring that up. And I knew Kim would, all those tough questions. And I think that's really important. But as Commissioner Lowry said, somebody who really cares about the state and cares deeply about public service and so much about Nevada and public service that she wanted everybody in Nevada to have, I feel like I'm giving like a funeral speech. It's not a funeral speech, but she always wanted everybody in Nevada to have faith in their government, which is really great. And, the contributions that Kim has made to the commission, I think, are going to echo on for many years, and her work there is going to be missed. And I'm proud that I was able to serve with her my time on the commission, and just want to say, well done. Congratulations. The state of Nevada is better for having you, and thank you for all that you've done.
Thank you, Commissioner Teller. I think that brings us then to the email public comment. Unless Executive Assistant Saldana, is there anyone else who's indicated that online that they'd like to make public comment on this item?
Elvira Saldana, for the record, no, there isn't anyone in the chat that has indicated they'd like to provide public comment.
And we'll move to the email public comment, Executive Director Armstrong.
Thank you. We received two public comments related to this agenda item. The first one is from former Commissioner and former Vice Chair Brian Dufferin. He says, "My name is Brian Dufferin. I served on the Nevada Commission on Ethics from October 2016 to October 2023. My public comment is related to item number 6 on your agenda today, the recognition and the honoring of Commissioner Kim Wallen's service to the Commission. I will be brief, but I too want to acknowledge her service to the state of Nevada and her dedication in serving on the Commission for 2 full terms. When I served on the Commission, Kim served as chair and was instrumental in making contributions to improving the overall operation, efficiency, and integrity of the Commission. I admired then and continue to be impressed today with her thoughtful and caring leadership in fulfilling her duties and responsibilities on the Commission. On her very first meeting on August 15th, 2018, Commissioner Wallen immediately contributed her experience, wisdom, and expertise by being prepared and asking insightful questions. She has been the model commissioner by being fair, consistent, and impartial in her interpretation and enforcement of the ethics laws. It is an honor to be appointed by either the governor or the legislature to the Ethics Commission. Kim's appointment by the Nevada legislature has benefited the state of Nevada, exemplified by her hard work and especially in striving for the public and public officers to be educated on the Commission's mission through social media, education and outreach, and serving on many Ethics Commission subcommittees. From day one, she has given 110% of her time and dedication to the Commission and demands it from other commissioners, all in the hopes of fulfilling the Commission's mission and guiding principles. The legislature can be proud of their decision to appoint Kim, as she has more than fulfilled her role over the past 8 years. The Ethics Commission and the state of Nevada are better because of Commissioner Wallen. Finally, I wanted to personally thank her for making my time on the Commission memorable and rewarding, and I wish her all the best in her future endeavors. Brian Dufferin." The next public comment is from former Commissioner Amanda Yen. Ms. Yen notes, "When I was notified that today would be Vice Chair Wallen's last commission meeting, I knew that I wanted to express my thanks to her for her many years of service to Nevada, both before her time on the commission and for her 8 years of service as a commissioner, chair, and vice chair. Kim's dedication to public service and the pursuit of the public's trust in government should be a guiding example to all of us. I served with Vice Chair Wallen for 6 years on the commission and saw firsthand how tirelessly she worked on maintaining the highest ethical standards for herself, the commission, and Nevada's public servants. Importantly, it was under Kim's leadership that the commission hired Executive Director Armstrong, and it was Kim who made the tough decisions necessary to ensure that the commission always acted within the guiding statutes and precedent. Her leadership will be missed. However, I know that she will continue to serve Nevada as she always has done. Thanks, Amanda C. Yen.
Thank you. I think that'll bring us then formally to item number 6. So recognition and presentation and proclamation honoring Vice Chair Kim Wallen's years of service to the commission. If we could have the proclamation brought forward. Do you want to read it or would you like me to read it? Okay. I might need my glasses. Whereas Kim Wallen, CPA, CMA, CFM, was appointed to the Nevada Commission on Ethics by the Legislative Commission and served with great distinction as a valued member from June 2018 to June 2026. And whereas Kim is a native Nevadan and received her bachelor's degree in business administration with a major in accounting from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And whereas Kim founded her CPA firm DK Wallen Limited in 1984 and continues to serve her clients in private practice throughout the state. Kim took 8 years away from private practice to serve as the controller for the state of Nevada, position to which she was elected in 2006 and reelected in 2010. Kim was the first CPA to be elected to the office of Nevada State Controller in 50 years and the first CMA to ever hold this office. Whereas Kim was appointed to and served on the Federal Commission on Evidence-Based Policymaking and President Barack Obama's Federal State Advisory Committee on Administrative Flexibility, Lower Costs, and Better Results for state, local, and tribal governments. And whereas Kim has been a member of numerous state and national CPA and other professional associations and served as the Vice President of NASC, Global Chair of the Institute of Management Accounts, and served for 2 years on the Ethics Committee of the Nevada Society of CPAs. And whereas Kim has been recognized as one of the 100 most influential people in accounting in the country by Accounting Today, was named Woman CPA of the Year by the American Women's Society of CPAs, and received the President's Award from the National Association of State Auditors, Comptrollers, and Treasurers. And whereas Kim has served her community as a board member for the Carson Tahoe Regional Medical Center, as president of Seroptimist International of Creative Las Vegas, and treasurer for the Opus Dance Ensemble and the Actors Repertory Theater. I assume that was Greater Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Whereas Kim's deep commitment to government ethics, understanding of public service, and unwavering belief in transparent and accountable government have been vital to advancing the Commission's mission, her legacy of leadership with the Commission, serving as both chair and vice chair, has strengthened public trust by expanding outreach and education efforts, providing confidential advisory opinions that are both readable and understandable to guide public officers and employees, and ensuring fair and consistent resolution of ethics complaints. And whereas Kim has demonstrated a commitment to the advancement of ethics in government, her sharp intellect, steadfast dedication to fairness and transparency, and exemplary professionalism have distinguished her service and contributed immeasurably to the Commission's success. And therefore be it resolved that the members of the staff of the Nevada Commission on Ethics hereby express their extensive gratitude to Commissioner Kim Wallen, CPA, CMA, CFM, for her dedicated service to the state of Nevada and to the Constitution of the United States.
Thank you very much. I got to take a moment here.
Christian Council Ambassador, we need a motion to adopt that as a resolution of
No,
the commission.
We don't usually
Okay.
vote and adopt them, so we just make them.
Okay. All
Okay, I'm going to make some comments.
right, we'll let you lead off.
Right. First, I want to thank my former commissioners. You made tears come to my eyes, you know. That was so sweet, so wonderful, and unexpected. It has truly been an honor and a privilege to serve on this commission. And I would like to thank the staff who have made my job easier as chair and vice chair, and the commissioners. I want to start with Executive Director Armstrong. It's hard to believe unbeknownst to me, that you walked for me 20 years ago when I was running for controller for the very first time. And I didn't know that one day we would be working together. Must have been destiny or something. In fact, I didn't know that you did that until you came on the commission, and a friend of mine told me that. I can remember when you first started, and Vice Chair Dufferin and myself talked to you about the goals of the commission. First was to catch up on the backlog of cases, manage day-to-day operations and stay current, and after that, start a social media presence and train our public employees. You started that within 1 month. Plus, you got caught up on the cases. You have brought so many best practices to the commission and have raised the level of the commission since that time. I also appreciate your great understanding of the ethics law and your ability to explain it. The commission is very fortunate to have you, and you would be hard to replace. Trust me, I know what we went through before we found you. So thank you. Commission Counsel Bassett, I'm very happy that you decided to accept the position. It was a lot of arm twisting, I know. You have been tested in this position many times and have excelled. I really appreciate your great legal mind and your ability to remain professional when dealing with opposing counsel, which sometimes can be tough. That is a skill that all attorneys strive for. Thank you for letting me bounce thoughts and ideas off of you and for answering my questions along the way. Like the executive director, you would be hard to replace. Acting Associate Counsel Hazlitt. I haven't worked with you as long and as directly, but I really appreciate what you've done for the commission and your attitude. You've been a great asset to the commission in your short time here. And I appreciate what you've done and, like I said, your attitude and just your enthusiasm. So thank you. Investigator Terry, even though you're not here today, I do like your background and I like your little call sign, ET. It's very appropriate. Oh yes, and I see you dressed up today, so thank you very much. Even though I didn't work with you directly, but your investigative work has been excellent. And even though since you came on the commission, your workload has increased significantly and you've continued to catch up, I don't know how you do it. So thank you very much. Oyo Harvey, in your short time here, you have done an outstanding job in boosting our social media presence and increasing the number of public employees who are getting training. Thank you. Senior legal researcher, Penny. I have not worked with you that long and directly, but I know that you're a great asset for the commission and great help to staff. So thank you. Executive Assistant Saldana. Even though you haven't been here that long, thank you for keeping us organized and assisting us in all of our travel arrangements and setting up the meetings. Thank you for also getting those June 11th meeting minutes done so quickly for this meeting. To all of the commissions, all the staff of the commission, we are very lucky to have each and every one of you. So thank you very much. Commissioner Langton, even though he's not here, I want to recognize him for always being prepared for the meetings and participating on everything on the agenda, not just the cases. I appreciate his great analytical skills and attention to detail. Commissioner Miller and Reynolds, thank you for stepping up and serving on the legislative subcommittee. I appreciated all of your input and thoughts. The commission will have a better bill as a result, thanks to your hard work. I also appreciate your coming to the meetings prepared and interpreting and enforcing the ethics law in a fair, consistent, and impartial manner. And thank you for participating on all the agenda items as well. Chair Scheer and Commissioner Smith, thank you for your commitment to the commission and your service to the state. Chair Scheer and Smith, I appreciate your strict interpretations of the ethics law as well. Commissioner Pancoast, I have hardly even worked with you, just a month. But I just want to thank you for volunteering to serve on this commission and for your commitment and service to the state of Nevada. So thank you very much. In closing, the commission is very fortunate to have Lena St. Jules coming on as my replacement. She was our acting commission counsel for almost a year. She will be able to hit the ground running, and she has an in-depth understanding of the ethics law. The commission will be in good hands as my replacement. On a final note, kind of a little bit about when I started. When I first started with the commission, my friends and colleagues gave me their condolences and said, this is a do-nothing commission. We were the best kept secret. Over time, the commission began doing more and more to uphold the public's trust in government by doing more training and by enforcing the ethics laws consistently. And I wouldn't say that we're hard, but we're not super lenient as well. I'm concerned that with the tremendous turnover in the last 3 years, the commission could regress on our progress. The reason is that after my term ends next week, the commission will have had 8 new commissioners in 3 years, compared to only 3 new commissioners in my first 5 years. The lack of continuity could be a problem. Please keep our high standard up and the reputation of the commission. My fellow commissioners, remember to follow our guiding principles and the commission's reputational goal of being fair, consistent, nonpartisan, efficient, and follow the ethics laws written. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I guess I'd like to start, take the prerogative of the chair to say thank you, Kim, for all of your hard work on the commission. I know you truly have devoted a lot of your time to it, and that you really care about the commission and its work. And thank you for keeping me on track. Many since I've become the chair, because there are many times when Vice Chair Wallen has reminded me of something that needs to be done, or kept me on track with the administrative tasks. So I don't know what I'm going to do without her. I will have to, I guess, get more organized myself. Although Executive Assistant Saldana, Executive Director Armstrong, I'm counting on you to help me out here. So you've got big shoes to fill, but someone's got to do it to keep this frequently scatterbrained, busy lawyer on track. So Kim, I really do appreciate all that you've done. So thank you for your service to the commission and to the state. Are there other comments from anyone?
I'd like to make a comment.
Please.
It's been a privilege to work with you, Vice Chair Wallen, over the 5 years that I've been with the commission. Your commitment to improving the way the commission serves public employees and officers has been evident in everything you do. And your work will certainly leave a lasting impact on the commission and on myself. You're always looking for thoughtful ways to strengthen our processes, improve our services, and make the commission more effective and responsive. In particular, you have always been a very strong supporter and champion of commission staff, and we really appreciate that. You've been committed to the principles of ethics and good government, and you've been a strong and consistent voice when the commission has faced difficult issues. And you've brought integrity and genuine care to your work on the commission, and the commission is stronger because of what you've contributed. And the positive changes that you've helped to bring about will certainly benefit public officers and employees we serve for years to come. You will be greatly and genuinely missed.
Other comments on this item?
Chair Scheer.
Please, Commissioner Reynolds.
I would like to thank Kim for all her service. I worked with Kim when she was controller, and I was deputy director and director for business and industry. These positions, as you know, are they're not highly compensated, and that's a little bit of a joke. I think I'm up around 26 cents an hour, somewhere in that neighborhood. But and not for overall recognition. It is truly the commissioner's positions are truly service to the state, service to the citizens of the state in a very important capacity. And I've had several people say, thank you for agreeing to be on this commission. That certainly, if somebody spends 8 years on there, they should be, I think, doubly thanked for that, because it is so important and pertinent to the operation of government within the state to have people that truly care about this. They're not there for only reason is to serve the state. And that is rare these days, to find people to be able to be in that position. So I compliment you for the years of service you've had. It's incredibly important. And it's incredibly important to the good service and operation of our state. So thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Miller, she's unmuted. I assume you have a comment.
I did. Kim, it's been a pleasure to work with you since I joined, and getting to serve with you on the legislative committee. I learned so much, and you set a very high bar, and so I look forward to doing my best to live up to that and continuing to have this commission perform at the level for Nevadan citizens. So thank you for being an example.
Thank you. Any other comments?
I just have a quick one for Kim. I also want to thank her for her service. She was one of the first calls that I got when I became a commissioner to just to reach out and help me figure things out. And she's one of those people you can always rely on to do that. I think we're going to miss her greatly. I echo a lot of comments that Liz had because she has a passion for public service, and we're going to have a little bit of a hole, and we're going to miss her. But I do hope that she continues public service, and I'm curious to hear if she's going to move on to something next, but I hope that she does.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Yeah, this is Executive Director Armstrong, and from your service as state controller to your service on the commission, you have a deep belief in good government, of which ethics is an important part, particularly with your service on the commission. I have really appreciated your commitment to fair, but also aggressive enforcement of the ethics law, and our ability to go out there, and if we see something ourselves that's not going right, take action and pursue it. Your focus on making sure our agency documents are readable to normal people instead of just attorneys is a great reminder, and we keep in mind every time we are drafting documents. Your care and support of staff has always been tremendous and appreciated, and also your understanding of all the background work of government, right? I think that will be missed. We'll still have some folks that know like what the issue with a work program is, or the difference between agency rec and gov rec and whatever happens in the legislative hearing. But your understanding of how government operates, especially in the role of executive director, where I could vent to you about that, or we could game plan about how to attack a legislative session, was tremendous. So thank you for your service to the state, your guidance for me and the rest of the team.
Thank you. Seeing no other comments at this time, I think we will move on then to item number 7, review, discussion, and approval of updated executive director and commission council work performance standards. You have these, you have the work job descriptions, work standards in your materials. I don't know if anyone had, and I know both Vice Chair Wallen and I and Executive Director Armstrong and Commission Counsel Bassett have all reviewed them and discussed them. Does anyone have any comments or questions about them?
I'd like to make a quick disclosure.
Okay.
I'd like to disclose regarding this agenda item pursuant to NRS 281A 420. I have a significant pecuniary interest in my continued employment with the commission and in my salary for my employment. While this agenda item does not directly discuss my current employment with the commission, it does address potential changes to my work performance standards with the commission and therefore impacts my continued employment with the commission. I therefore will not be advocating for the passage or failure of this agenda item, but I am available to answer any questions the commission might have.
Executive Director Armstrong?
Yes, this is Executive Director Armstrong. I'd also like to make a disclosure that I have a significant personal and pecuniary interest in my position as Executive Director. And as Ms. Bassett stated, although these are not specific to that particular interest, they do set the job duties for that role. And so I am available to comment or answer questions, but will not be advocating one way or the other on these duties. I will note that I think it's been about 5 years since these were updated. So we just talked about Vice Chair Wallen's commitment to the back end of stuff. And so obviously we have new members on our team and things have changed. And so that is why we're bringing them forward to you today.
Any other presentations, any comments on these items? Commissioner Reynolds.
Commissioner Reynolds, on these, I think they're excellent. I went through them, each one of the positions. I'm very familiar with having done these for all my senior staff within Department of Business and Industry. But it's incredibly important to review them every 3 to 5 years. And I think it's appropriate, since you've had turnover of staff, to be able to look at what needs to be accomplished and to allocate the duties between the positions. And so I commend you for doing this review and putting together the job duties and the criteria for each one of these positions that you have indicated here. So I think they're excellent, and I don't know if there's a motion required for it, but I'll wait to see if there's any other comments. But I really do appreciate what you've done here, and I think it's hopefully you'll continue this process every 3 to 5 years to make sure that everybody's comfortable with the duties they have, and you're keeping up with the workload in terms of accomplishing what you need to accomplish with the commission and with your division.
And we will want a motion, but we can see if there are any other comments before we go forward with that. Does not appear that there are any others. So there's a suggested motion.
All right. I move to approve the updated executive director and commission council work performance standards as presented.
Do we have a second to that motion?
I'll second the motion.
Okay. Motion by Vice Chair Wallen, seconded by Commissioner Reynolds. Do you have any other comments or questions on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? They are passed unanimously. So thank you very much. That'll bring us to item number 8, report by Executive Director on agency status and operations. Executive Director Armstrong.
Thank you. Yes, this is Executive Director Armstrong. There is a report in your materials that is the written report. I know at the last meeting, we talked a little bit about having to redo the process for the case management system. That was completed. I want to thank Commission Counsel Bassett for stepping into Commissioner Lowry's shoes on being on the review team for that. The vendor was selected, and we anticipate it being on the agenda for the July 14th Board of Examiners. So once the Board of Examiners approves it, we'll be off to the races with implementation. The first phase of that project includes a needs assessment from the vendor to figure out where we're headed. But that's exciting. We are on track for substantial growth in our number of ethics complaints and cases overall this year. I'll skip strategic plan and do that in a second. Just a budget, we're at the end of the budget year, so we're making sure everything is looking good there. One of the things about the case management system, and I appreciate the Governor's Finance Office for making sure this got done during the session, is that the funding for the case management system rolls between the 2 fiscal years. So we don't have to do anything special to, based on the delay in the procurement to have the funding to do that. The budget building continues in collaboration with the Administrative Services Division. Our BDR has been officially submitted in the system, so there's a placeholder there. And we continue to meet and discuss that with the Governor's Office. I want to thank especially Commission Counsel Bassett and Acting Associate Counsel Hazlett for working on different white papers for our budget enhancement requests, which has been great. We did 2 review panel determinations, and we have those upcoming meetings for the rest of the year. In addition, I have a message from Governor Lombardo to Ms. Bassett to thank her for she hit her 5 years of continuous service with the executive branch. Liz has served previously in the Supreme Court and then in private practice, but she hit her 5 years, and so the governor sent her a certificate for that. So there you go. And then also included in this meeting's report is kind of a detailed report on our strategic plan. We did this last June as well. So you can see what has been completed, what is ongoing in future. We've adopted the outreach and education plan. And so outreach officer Harvey is working diligently to execute that plan now. We continue to work on increasing the numbers trained. And then in terms of the maintaining the public's trust, we're going to be working, I think, next to help the commissioners. And one of the ideas was to be as consistent as possible. We have those decision matrices for review panels and for jurisdictional ones. And we realized a next good one to do that for would probably be the decision to grant relief or not when you have a request for relief under advisory opinion. So that is on our radar. Commission Council Bassett worked with you guys on the reputational statement last time. The staffing plan is in place. We're pursuing the AA3 or equivalent position, so we're gearing up for that. The internal staff support framework is always interesting because we're so limited and we can't issue bonuses or do some interesting things for retention. But we did have a good staff retreat at the last time we had a Vegas meeting and are thinking about ways to make sure we're maintaining staff and when we recruit staff, how to bring them in. And then finally, the technology and service improvements, about the case management system process that is ongoing. And then we've finished the process documentation on all of our different processes. And starting tomorrow, the staff will be meeting weekly to go through and see if there are ways to change any processes using technology and improving customer service. So we are, I'd say, like a little bit behind on some items from where we originally anticipated, which is not unusual in a strategic plan, but we are continuing to keep the strategic plan front of mind. It is also, I will say, helped tremendously during the budget building process and other decision making as we think about what are the priorities of the commission. So that concludes my executive director report. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
It's in the written materials, but I just think it's worth highlighting for commissioners. The next 3 meetings, August 19th in Reno, October 14th in Las Vegas, and December 2nd in Reno. Just to make sure everybody has those on your calendars. I do also want to note that I received during the meeting a text message from Commissioner Moran who said he's stuck in court. So if he can be shown as excused today as well. That's other than I have no questions. So any other questions or comments on the executive director's report?
I do. See, you'll miss me. Won't have any more questions. Under the sufficient staffing area, you talk about future compensation letter to be drafted, submitted. Can you talk about that a little bit? What plan is there?
Yeah, I know in the past, what we have done, and I don't know if we've done a letter before, but I know there's been testimony, at the budget hearing so typically at our budget hearing, there's a 2-step process. We go, we present our budget, and then there's a one where they make all their decisions. And so at that proactive budget one, typically either the chair or vice chair or both will be present. And then in the past, we've had them advocate and say, general state employee compensation and incentives and benefits rates are important to keep those in mind and to, think about COLAs or however, to do those types of things. So we'll do that same thing where we probably draft a letter and testimony and prepare that and submit it with the budget. So we communicate to the governor's office as the governor is figuring out their budget process so that they know. It's sort of a weird decision unit, right? We don't want a decision unit just for us, but to say that, hey, there's support out there. And I think we're in a unique position because an adequately funded public servant corps is going to be ethical because there's a less need to have side gigs or get tempted by inappropriate behavior. And so we have a unique voice in terms of saying a well-compensated public, state staff is going to be a more ethical staff. There'll still be some rogue folks out there, but it reduces some of those temptations. So that's what that is about.
So to that point, because I know I testified and I gathered information on, from the recession on how state workers and everyone still is not back to where they should be had we not have had the recession. So have you given any thought to looking at, when you do that letter, drafting it, putting in comparisons to the judicial ethics? Because I know they're paid more than you guys. So it should be, I mean, you're doing kind of the same thing and actually even more. So that might be something to put in there, and then maybe go back to the testimony I gave to put some thoughts in there.
Yeah, this is Executive Director Armstrong. Well, we can definitely look at that as terms of comparison points. I know, the last session, maybe it was 2 sessions ago, we really focused on comparing us to local governments because they're generally much higher paid. We're just in a weird place in terms of trying to figure out what's going to happen with the state budget, because there's like red flags in the economic outlook, but then there's some green flags. And I know that a lot of our locals who we point to and say like we should be on par with locals, they're going through processes now where they're doing hiring freezes and they're cutting positions. And so it may end up being a turbulent budgetary process, but I think any opportunity we have to say, keep this in mind, it's important to do that.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? And seeing none, that'll bring us to the next item, item 9, which is our outreach and education report. Outreach and Education Officer Harvey.
Thank you very much, Chair Shear. Just checking if everybody can hear me okay. The audio set up.
We can hear you. You're a little quiet, but we can hear you.
All right, I will do my best to be louder.
Okay.
Thank you very much. All right.
Go ahead when you're ready.
Yeah, the report just needed to show. That's okay.
Okay.
All right, before I jump into the report, I have a reminder here for myself to just remind our commissioners, new, longstanding, and everybody in between, of the onboarding resources that we just developed, and feel free to reach out. We'd love to know what resources would be continually useful to you that we can develop. Wonderful. So starting with education, we have the listed trainings coming up, most notably the new initiative to offer what I'm really calling open trainings rather than folks specifically requesting training and we provide it. In addition to doing that, hosting open trainings, which has been very well received so far, and we're very grateful to the public servants who are receptive in attending those. We've had just not 70 attendees so far, with another 60 or so scheduled for later in the year. The chart you see here is new data analysis that's come out of strategic planning for education, where we're looking at the diversity of types of public servants that we're training. And so we want to make sure that, we're not only training certain types of public servants and missing out on others, especially those who may be particularly high risk for ethics liability potentially, right? So I would really invite suggestions for maybe so when I look at this initially, we're going to do some analysis, of course, but I'm seeing, regulatory staff in my mind are particularly high risk. And so maybe some targeted outreach to increase training for those public servants, but any other categories or input on this would be great. All right, so moving on to communications and outreach. Just to note, we are seeing the very steady and consistent growth on our LinkedIn followers. I projected that out to this time next year without any other additional initiatives, and that would put us at 1,800 followers this time next year. We have a handful of upcoming strategies to improve that, and really appreciative to the commissioners who are joining me in those endeavors by moving in their networks. Wonderful. The annual report is underway. So we're getting started on that process. We've already delved into the cleaning of our data in preparation for that report. And then with regards to the newsletter, I've written here nearly 100 new subscribers. That is closer to 1,000 just with the efforts that I put in this last week or so in welcoming additional subscribers to the newsletter, which is a wonderful resource. All right, finally with requests, as our run total for the fiscal year, nearly wrapping up at 423 total requests. We've seen fairly consistent data in terms of the number of requests we can provide records to for public records requests, and the ones that don't have any, and just much higher numbers compared to previous years. An additional metric that I've added here is the length of time that it typically takes us to respond to requests that are, that have responsive records as well. I'm happy to take any questions or comments. And
Questions, comments for Education Officer Harvey? I know that was, I think you were cutting out a little bit at times, so there may be some clarifications on a couple of things. Vice Chair Wallen?
I just have an observation comment here. I really like seeing that in your training, it's higher levels up because the tone is set from the top. And so I think that's a good thing. I'm glad that it's not reversed where we've got more of the worker bees down there doing it, because if the top's not ethical, if the bottom's not going to be either, no matter what. So I thought that was very good. And I will get my LinkedIn thing set up. I'm going to do it today, I promise. So thank you.
No problem at all. Tax season and commissioner stuff wrapping up. No worries. Yeah, no, appreciate you going that point. This year we've been making concerted effort to both strategize and connect with agencies, because obviously our advisories and our complaints can only really tackle ethical issues on a case-by-case basis. And so seeing what we can do at an agency-wide level to support culture and policy, agency-wide training, various different strategies to address it more structurally. So appreciate that.
You mentioned a large number of new subscribers. Is that related to the Clark County email directory that is also in your report?
That is actually still in process. They're wrapping up with the primary, so hopefully they'll get back to me on that process soon. I actually have been trying to take the time this week while things are a little bit quieter. Touch wood, doesn't mean anything needs to come in. There is a directory within our Outlook system that I believe is all of the public servants external to the state system that I've been manually adding into our processes that weren't initially added because they're not within the, I suppose, like NeoGov learners database.
Okay. Any other questions or comments for Outreach and Education Officer Harvey? Seeing none, so that'll bring us to item number 10, which is commissioner comments. Any commissioner comments, future agenda items?
I just want to thank all of my fellow commissioners. I've really appreciated your comments. Thank you very much. I'll probably end up crying today, so, but I just want to say thank you, and I'll miss all of you guys, and keep up the good work, as Commissioner Smith said, and Commissioner Miller. So I know you can do it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
We can still call you, right, with questions?
Of course. You just can't tell me the case name.
Right. Thanks.
Other commissioner comments? That brings us then to item 11, public comment. Executive Director Armstrong, have we received any public comment by email during the meeting?
We have not.
And Executive Assistant Saldana, are there any members of the public who are attending in person or virtually want to provide public comment?
Elvira Saldana for the record. There are no members of the public on Zoom that would like to provide public comment.
We only have one person in the audience and she is indicating no, she doesn't want to make public comment. So with that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I will make that motion as my final motion on the commission to adjourn.
Do we have a second? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. We are adjourned.